Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to do an Helios waves analysis on Telcoin's chart. And even with the recent crashing event, Telcoin was actually one of the charts that went exactly to the T to our expectation. Why? Because if you remember, the last time that we talked about TL, we were specifically right in here, and the idea was that, well, okay, we can have technically a 1 2 3 4 5 wave up. However, be careful, that might be part of a correction structure in form of an A, B, C, either a flat or maybe a zigzag, doesn't really matter. And now I am able to tell you this is 1 2 3 4 5. So this is absolutely, in my view, an ABC. Let's consider a zigzag. Again, not really that important, but we said any kind of move up should be, at least right now, interpreted as just a correction structure into maybe this wave 4. And what's next? Well, unfortunately, another move down into wave 5. And we specifically said a likely target for the coming move down in Telcoin can be around this very important support area between, let's say, 0.3 to about 0.33 of a cent. Basically, we said from here we can have like a 20% move on the downside. And as you can see, even with the recent crash that we got in a lot of altcoins, we still didn't lose this support, and we pinpoint nailed that. And followed by that, we got a bounce back. And by the way, have you paid attention that the projects that aren't actually on Binance, they didn't really have that much of a big crash? And Telcoin definitely wasn't an exception, because as you can see, we don't really have Telcoin on Binance. So in this crash, we were absolutely fine. Now, the question is, can we argue we have hit our final low? Well, here is the deal. I think you know what I'm about to say. If you want to argue, maybe we have hit our final low down here. Okay, show me off of the lowest low a 1 2 3 4 5 wave up in order for me to flip sort of kind of bullish. This specific count is called an impulsive movement. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, or wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. And in terms of the subwaves, I think you know what I'm about to say. Let's change the colors. We have to have 5 wave up into wave 1, 3 and 5, and for wave 2 and 4 we can have different counts. Let's say sure, ABC into 4 and a WXY into wave 2. If I am able to identify something like this off of the lowest low, maybe I'm able to be bullish. And you want to remember, after completing a 5 wave up, we have to have a correction down, which one very important characteristic of it is what? You know it, being quite slow and choppy. And between our pullbacks up in these phases, we must be constantly able to identify overlapping of the waves. So let's go, having said that, on the live chart and see what is going on from the lows. First things first, I think we can all agree this seems quite like a strong move on the downside. So initially, not an optimistic sign. Also, let's go on 15-minute time frame, zoom out a little bit. There we go. So question is, can we argue that this is 1 2 3 4 5? Well, I think we can all clearly see that we are absolutely having overlapping of the waves between our wave 2 and 4. And this isn't actually to a degree that we're going to say, well, okay, maybe it is ignorable. No, this is clear-cut overlapping of the waves. And this is narrowing your option to either, number one, a leading diagonal in form of a wedge, or maybe an expanding leading diagonal. Now, in case of a wedge, this is going to be our wave 1, correction for 2, another move up into wave 3, which must be smaller than wave 1, correction for 4, it has to be smaller than wave 2, and unlike an impulse, yes, in here, we must actually have overlapping of the waves, and this is our final move up into wave 5, which is the smallest wave. In case of an expanding leading diag, basically it's going to be the opposite of this thing, meaning this is our wave 1, and now it must be the smallest wave. Correction for wave 2, another move up into wave 3, it has to be bigger than 1. Correction for 4 must be bigger than wave 2. And again, we are going to have in here overlapping of the waves. And this is our final move up into wave 5. And it has to be the biggest wave in this whole structure. Now, let's measure some waves on the live chart and see which structure can we consider in this area? So first things first, I think you have to put your chart on regular scale. I'm going to keep saying this in every single update. There is no measuring waves on logarithmic, okay? It's very, very important to understand that. And let's measure the length of our wave 3 and compare it to our wave 1. Is it bigger than wave 1? The answer is no. So this is actually narrowing your option to only and only an expanding leading diag, which in it wave 5 must be the biggest wave and definitely bigger than wave 3. However, as you can see, unfortunately in here, wave 5 is not bigger than wave 3. It's actually quite a good bit smaller. So what is it that I'm trying to tell you? Sure, it really does seem like that we are having a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but when you zoom in and start checking the rolls out, you realize there's actually a very good chance that this is not a 5-wave up. And one very important reason for what in Telcoin we are having such a strong move on the downside, and this doesn't seem to be a correction structure. I think it is because the fact that, yeah, most likely we do not have an impulse off of the lowest low, and that leads me to say what? Yep, I think you know what? Probably in Telcoin the bottom is not in yet, and we are going to have hopefully soon yet another move down in order to take the lowest low down here about 0.32 of a cent. But I'm really hoping that is going to be it, the low of our correction. Now let's assume that we are going to have a move down. In that case, what's the shape of our move is going to look like? Well, before we talk about that, let me actually cheer you up a little bit and go on H4 time frame. Okay, so let's go around here. You see, whenever you're having a trend line, let's say like this, and we are touching it way too many times, and by that I usually mean more than 3 to 4 times, at that point chances of getting a break of this trend line is going to increase, and you have to say maybe the next time that we're going to get to here, we are going to get a break of it and take the previous major pivot high right in here, and that means we are going to hopefully start a new uptrend. Now, why is this important? Because I think in Telcoin we may have something like that. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Excuse me. There we go. So I think this can be a beautiful, actually I would say descending channel, and we touch the higher band of it how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, even if you want to adjust this trend line a little bit. And I think the next time that we get to here, we are going to get a break of it, but at the same time there is like a slight problem. Now before I tell you what the problem actually is, let's go in here, and I think we do have another clear-cut example of something like that happening. You see, this was also a decent line that we touched it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and the next time that we got to here, we got a break of it, and that caused about, yep, as you can see, let's say a 40 to 50% move on the upside, which definitely wasn't that bad. However, my problem right now with Telcoin is this. At the same time, we are also around a decent support, and we have also touched this thing a couple of times. And if you want to generally consider this whole area a level, then okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times we touched this region, and every single time we got some sort of a reaction from it. So here is what's going on in my mind. You see, I'm willing to bet around the lows, a lot of amateur traders are actually opening some long positions, and most likely they have put their stops under the lows. So the price actually has a tendency to first go down and take all the lows and gather all the liquidity under them and basically make those amateur traders cry. And then I think we are going to see a bounce in order to get a break of that line that we talked about earlier. Now, having said that, let's go on the live chart. Okay, so first things first, I think soon we are going to get a move down in TL and go under this area a little bit and take all the lows, and the lowest low is what? Yep, it's actually this one down here about 0.32 of a cent, and maybe even we are going to go a little bit lower, like I don't know, maybe 0.3 of a cent. but I really have doubts about whether we are going to get a break of this level or not. In my view, this is kind of a strong support region from weekly and daily time frame at the same time, and it doesn't really make sense to at least initially count on getting a break of it. Let's just get to here, take all the lows, gather all the liquidity, and then according to my primary scenario, we are probably going to get a bit of a bounce in order to actually get a break of this line and take all the highs, which the highest high is around here, about, let's say, 0.76 of a cent. I think something like that easily can happen. And in terms of the subwaves, now that we have taken in Telcoin the lowest low down here, now we are not able to say, I don't know, this is 5-wave up followed by a correction down. And in the previous video, we explained why most likely this actually isn't a 5-wave on the upside, and instead it can be just a normal looking ABC in form of a zigzag. And based on that, I think we are actually on our way down to complete the subwaves for probably yet another ABC zigzag, which in terms of the subwaves, we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down into A, correction for wave B, let's say WXY in this instance, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down into C. And in my view, we are probably having, let's just say this one, a wave 1 to about here, maybe correction for 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave 3, correction for 4, and another move down into wave 5. And that is actually going to be into the C leg of this potential ABC zigzag, completing the subwaves, hopefully from a higher degree, starting from the highs for a beautiful WXY in form of a double zigzag. And one very important characteristic of a double zigzag is what? Yup, being kind of a deep move on the downside. And I think we can all agree that this is a rather deep move down. Let's just measure it Fibonacci wise. As you can see, yep, we have retraced to about the 78, even 80% level. So by all accounts, this is definitely a deep move down, and I'm really hoping after this is over, we are going to have another bounce. But in order to get that scenario, I think it is very much required for Telcoin to not get a break of this level, okay? I think there's like a very good chance that in case we are going to get a break of this level, all hell is going to break loose, because under here, I'm really not able to identify a whole lot of strong support until I think it was like a 40 to even 50% lower, somewhere around the 0.18 of a cent area. So let's not get a break of this support, and at the same time, let's count on another move down in order to clear all the lows real quick and then get a bounce back in order to take the highs, because I think that might be the path of least resistances for Telcoin. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in TL's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.